If you love anything other than yourself, you're a threat to them. But if you love yourself, at most, you'll escape. And that's only the competent ones. The rest of you who are not competent enough to escape, do you know what happens when you love yourself?
Welcome back to my channel, guys, and in today's video we are going to watch another Andrew Tate emergency meeting. In this meeting we are going to learn about evil and love. I already make some notes and write down the things that I learned from this video. I'll just suggest you to make notes and write down the things on paper what you learned from Andrew Tate videos, Andrew Tate emergency meeting, Andrew Tate speeches, because whenever you want you can revise. You don't have to watch whole video again. You can just open your notebook and revise the points what you learned from Andrew Tate speeches, Andrew Tate emergency meeting. Anyway, let's start our video without any waste of time. But before starting our video, I request you to please subscribe to my channel, guys, because I'm working so much hard on my channel. It's almost 3 a.m. in the morning and I'm recording videos for all of you guys, so I think I deserve your subscribe. So must subscribe to my channel because a lot of amazing content is coming. Let's start our video without wasting any time.
Just gonna get a coffee. Bring me a coffee. Thanks. Put us on the big screen in the living room. Yeah. Thanks. Right. Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about a very interesting frame of thought, an easy way to view the world and try to understand why certain things happen. Because as humans, we're always searching for meaning. We're searching for understanding. And that is the basis behind most religions, behind a lot of philosophy, all of these things. We're constantly looking for the answer because we have this thing inside of us which makes us very inquisitive. It gives us the ability to love things, ability to love others, the ability to understand. So we're always looking for the final answer. What's the final solution? And you can spend many years of your life studying Plato and watching all these long and in-depth videos about who controls the world and who does what. And there's certainly merits of truth to all the philosophers, and there's merits of truth to all of the theories of economics and power structure. But there's a very simple overview, which I like to use in terms of understanding the world and why certain people are doing certain things. And it's very simply love and evil. So for that, I'm going to give you this very basic philosophical framework, because you can read Aristotle and you can read Plato and you can read The Art of War and you can read the 48 Laws of Power and you can read all these books. You can spend your entire life studying. But truthfully, there's a macro framework that allows you to avoid all of that work, spend that time doing something else, and very simply and easily understand the world. Now, I'm not claiming to be a philosopher. This is just my theory that I've come up with that I'm here to share with you. And it's very simply called love and evil. So I'm going to explain to you how it works now, and hopefully it makes sense. If at any point during this you have any questions, feel free to send them in a super chat. I'm going to be reading out every single super chat and answering every single question. Let's put the aircon on or open this, please. So of all the philosophy in the world, of all the different ways, because what is philosophy? Philosophy is trying to understand thinking. It's trying to understand why we are the way we are, why we do what we do. Of all the philosophy in the world, the most potent and pertinent and absolutely accurate and true came up with thousands and thousands of years ago, when you already know it. Many of you may not have read a lot of the Greek philosophers. You may not understand the brutality of economics or war or politics, but I guarantee all of you know this symbol. So the most important thing when it comes to philosophy and understanding the world is an age-old symbol called the yin and the yang. You've all seen it. That's a terrible rendition of it. But this explains the world absolutely. And basically you have light and dark in equal, opposing amounts. You have a little bit of light in all of the dark, and you have a little bit of dark in all of the light. So to explain, there is something good about all of the bad things that happen to you, and there is something bad about all of the good things that happen to you. And there is going to be good and evil, sorry, it's going to be good and evil in equal and opposite amounts throughout the world. When I say this, a lot of people understand there's good and bad, but not many people think about or understand the fact that every time something bad happens to you, there's a good lesson in it. You become a stronger person. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You learn something. You learn how to protect yourself. You become more grateful for what you have. Even if you lose your arm, you become more grateful for your other arm. There's always something good that happens in the bad. And there's always something bad that happens in the good. You all want to become rich. I don't blame you. I'm very, very rich, and I'd hate not to be. But bad things will happen when you get rich. You'll have to be more conscious of your security. You might become more arrogant. You might become more elitist. You might stop caring about people around you. You may believe that there's no luck involved, that perhaps there was no fortune or good providence. You just built it all yourself because you're a fantastic person and you're going to treat poor people badly. So there's always something bad and something good that happens in the inverse. And these exist in equal and opposite amounts. And the reason they exist in equal and opposite amounts is because they create each other. And I like to slightly change the yin and the yang between the light and the dark to love and evil. And it is both love and evil which create one another. You know, one of the most asked questions amongst philosophers and deep thinkers throughout history is, why do people do evil things? Why is there so much evil in the world? This is asked to priests. This is asked to imams. You say, if God exists, why is there so much evil? Why do all of these bad things happen? And a whole bunch of answers are given in reply. There's various different responses as to why there is evil in the world. Perhaps evil is a force in and of itself. Perhaps it's because humans have free will, etc. But my theory is very simple. The reason there is evil is because there is love. For the very same reason the reason there is light is because there is dark. Because when you love something, you are automatically attacking its inverse, which by definition will be seen as evil for the people who believe in that inverse. Let me give you a very simple example. If I love my country, when people try to invade my country, I'm going to kill them. If women and children try to come to my country uninvited, I will repel them. Now that is evil, right? To shoot and kill and murder, to reject women and children who are only coming to try and find food and shelter. I'm an evil person. What kind of bad person would turn those people away or, even worse, murder them? Well, it's someone who loves his country. I can't love my country without committing evil acts. And depending on which side of the fence you sit on, depends on whether you see me as a person who is patriotic and full of love or a person who is evil and full of hate. And that is why there's always going to be endless conflict in the world. That's why there's going to be endless, never-ending death and destruction, because humans have the capacity to love. We, as animals, have the capacity to love, not just each other, but we can love places, we can love things, we can love experiences, we can love certain emotions, we can love capabilities. By having the capability to love, we instantly create a shadow of endless evil. So when you sit and you analyze this, well then, simply, you could look at the yin and yang as love and evil. Or you could look at it as one thing, one force. Love and evil are the same thing. They're the same because you can't do one without creating the other. And this is something that people who are in charge of the world understand very well. Because by doing a certain action, they know they will create an inverse. So let me give you an example. Let's imagine there was a country which was currently committing a genocide. But why are they committing the genocide so publicly? Because this country, let's say, had complete control and blockade of its enemy for a very long time. why wouldn't they just make them all infertile by poisoning the food supplies? That would be very easy and nobody would know. Why wouldn't they just poison them slowly? Why wouldn't they just give them all turbo cancer in the medications that they were given? Why wouldn't they just build out a 10-year plan for the population to slowly decrease and eventually just fade away to nothing? There's no reason why they would have to do a big public execution. Why would they be doing this? That doesn't make sense. If the goal is primarily genocide, then the primary objective would be not to get caught. The primary objective would be to commit the genocide without anyone finding out about it so that anybody can talk about it. So if the goal is not genocide, what is the goal? Well, the goal is to be deemed and seen as evil. That is their primary objective. Why use, in this fictional country, why would they use military-grade weaponry on children, which is the height of evil incarnate, unless they wanted the entire world to see them as evil? Well, the answer is simple. By doing evil things, by having the entire world turn on them and seeing them as evil, what does it do to their native population? Their native population will sit there and say, well, everyone hates us now, so I guess we got to stick together. Nobody likes us. In fact, now it's more important than ever. If I'm a judge and you get caught, looking at kids online, child porn, I'm going to help you out because they're all against us anyway. We have to love each other because there's so much evil out there against us. So now we have to love each other. We have to unify. So by deliberately going out into the world and attracting evil, they are generating love in another place. This is what's extremely important for you to understand about the way the world actually works. It would have been very easy for this country to commit a genocide without attracting any evil. But then they wouldn't generate the love they need, the unity they're trying to acquire and enforce inside of their native populations and their global power networks. Because they felt like their power was slipping, perhaps they felt like their certain agents around the world were losing faith in their adherence to the true prophecy and their true loyalties above all of the other loyalties, prophecies, friendships, incentives that they were gaining throughout their power. Let's say you become a powerful, let's say this country is called, I'm going to go straight to jail. I'm going to go straight to jail. This country, let's say these people are out there and they have very influential positions in other countries. Well, they're going to, over time, grow fond of the other country they hold power within. So how do you keep them loyal to their base, their home nation, when they have a fantastic life in another nation? You need to make them feel love for that home nation and affinity for their people. And you do that by making the world hate them. This may be going over a lot of your heads, but this is extremely important for you to understand because this is the basic premise that game theoricians think on. They attack me and call me evil, which makes people love me more because I'm seen as a freedom fighter. Clowns and amateurs don't understand that your only weapon against people truly is apathy and outperformance. You need to outperform them and ignore them. If I break up with a woman, I know she's poor. You're poor compared to me forever. I win and you don't exist anymore. I don't hate you because if I hate you, you're going to love yourself. If I hate you, you're going to think, he hates me. That means he thinks about me. I'm so powerful. Look, I can make Andrew Tate think about me. I am cool. I love myself. Well, you know what? I don't think about you at all. I don't give a fuck about you. The second you're blocked, you're not in my brain. And you're sitting at home wondering if I'm thinking about you, and the answer is no. That's it. Apathy and outperformance are your weapons. Projecting evil in any direction creates love in another. And this is something else we need to consider. When people, hippies, all the religions, everyone says, love is the answer. Well, yes, love is the answer. You're right. But if you're projecting evil, you're creating love somewhere else. So let me give you a very simple example. Let's change it to something else. Currently, there's a lot of conversations around race. There's conversations around the fact that white people are losing their countries in real time. I, as a brown man, agree with them and see this is happening, and I know this is true, right? I have come to the aid of and tried to help white people understand why this is happening. And many of them have turned on me, called me names, and insulted me, which is fine. There's no problem with that. I have no problem. But let's look at a very simple, basic example. To have white children, you need white women to have white kids. So let me ask you something. Do white women love their race? Or do they love power and status and money? Because I know plenty of white women. In fact, I have a bunch of them who will be happily have kids with me because they know that I'm powerful and I'm rich and I have status and I can protect them and I'm funny and I'm smart and I'm famous and I'm charismatic. Very few white women will say, I love my race more than I love power, status, money, trips, private jets, Birkin bags, Instagram likes. They don't give a shit about their race in comparison. They love that more than they love their race, which is why they'll all sleep with a brown, black. They don't give a shit if they're getting what they want because they don't love their race. So in the eyes of the white nationalists, these women are evil, right? Because they love feeling important and feeling protected. They're doing an evil act considered by the other side. So there is always a equal and opposite force in all of these things. And when you're trying to convince somebody of something, you have to think, there's two ways I can do this. Do I attack it with love or do I attack it with evil? If I attack it with love, I try to make them feel that the inverse is evil. And if I attack it with evil, I try and make them feel that the inverse is love. Let me give you an example. I can say to you, guys, you need to be rich. And let me attack it with love. You need to be rich. You need the freedom. You need to be able to drive in a fast car. You need people to think you're important. You need to fly on private jets. Life's worth living. Look how great it is to be rich. Or I can say, guys, you need to be rich, or you're going to be working a 9 to 5, listening to some fucking female boss sitting in the commute every day. I can make you hate being poor to make you love being rich, or I can make you love being rich to make you hate being poor. It's the same emotion. Love, evil, it's the same. There is no way to go through the world doing good things without building up a huge element of antimatter. And that antimatter will manifest. I have done so many good things for young men in the world. That is why the governments of the world won't stop attacking me. Because I built up antimatter. The more good I did, the more I helped people, the nicer I was. The more I motivated you to not kill yourself, the more I helped you make money, the more I taught people to see the truth, the more I talked about the lies in the matrix, the more I did good, the evil was being created somewhere else. This is also a very important thought experiment. Before we apply this macro to society, this is another very important thought experiment. You need to use this framework in yourself. You can say love and evil, or you can say love and hate. Like and dislike, it doesn't matter. If you catch yourself disliking somebody, you have to work out why. Why do I dislike that man? Is it because I love the inverse of him? What do I truly love, and should I love that thing? If a fat person makes fun of a man in shape, he's jealous, effectively. But why does he dislike the man who's in shape? Because he understands that he loves food more than he loves his own health. And the evil result of him loving food is him being out of shape. So he dislikes anybody who is opposing to his worldview and his choices. That's why the weak hate the strong. All the men who hate me are weak, and all the men who like me are strong. That is not a coincidence. And the stronger I am, and the more I convince you to become strong, and the more strong people I create, the more the weak people will hate me. You can't commit or do any action without creating the opposite force. That's the first thing. Second thing I want you to understand. The elites know this very well. So if you understand this to be a universal truth and you're in charge of the world today, you have to be very careful what you make people love because of the inverse effects. So let me ask you a question. If I was the president of a country, surely it would make sense for me to make people love the country, right? That makes sense. I'm the president and I want you to love your country. But if you love your country, there's another equal and opposite force. You'll defend your country. You won't allow immigrants in. You won't allow us to inflate the currency. You won't allow us to rape the coffers and steal from the bank. You won't allow us to get rid of the military and sink it. You won't allow us to become a laughingstock. If my intention is to steal as much as possible, it's very important that you don't love your country, because now you're in the way. So even something as simple as I'm the leader of England, I want you to feel English and love England, is a problem for the elites. That's why you can't fly a flag. You're not allowed to be proud of your own nation because of the equal and opposite force that will create, which they will then demonize. If you're patriotic, they demonize it as evil. It's not evil. Patriotism is love for a country. But by loving your country, you automatically put it above all other countries. That's how it works. So if I'm a world elite, I don't want people to love their country. Okay, what about their race? Why wouldn't you want people to love their race, right? You're born brown, white, whatever. You should love that. You should be proud of that. Well, no, because now you're going to come to odds with the other people who look different to you. And I want you all in one big dishomogeneous soup so I can steal as much money as possible. Everybody understands multiculturalism's primary objective is to turn the first world into the third world so they can rule you the way they rule the third world, by force. First world, it's very difficult for even leaders to convince the police to chop your head off in the street. Third world is doable. That's why they're trying to turn us into the third world. It's very simple. So they don't want you to love your race. What about your city? Surely, I'm the mayor. I'm the mayor and I want you to love your city. Well, if you love your city, you're going to start complaining about all those stupid statues they put up. You're going to start complaining that they build all the buildings ugly. You're going to start understanding that they're trying to make you fall out of love with your city on purpose. Because if you love it, you will defend it. And they don't want you to defend it because they're there to plunder and steal. So if I understand as a world elite that you must love something because you're human, but I don't want you to love your nationality. I don't want you to love your country. I don't want you to love your religion. I don't want you to love your history. I don't want you to love anything that's going to create an inverse, which is going to become a problem to me. What do I convince you to love instead? What is the one thing I can convince you to love instead that won't become a problem for me? And I'll tell you what the answer is. Yourself. We live in a world of endless individualism. When they convince you to love yourself, yes, you can excel as an individual. Yes, you might get rich. But once you're rich, are you going to help your community? No. Are you going to help your race? No. Are you going to help the other men who get falsely accused like I do? No. You're not going to help anybody. You might help a couple family members. At most. It's a very small rebellion. In the second Matrix, the architect tells Neo we had to give a way out for the people who were a little bit too smart. Otherwise, the system would break down. That is the truth. The reason I am rich, the reason the system allowed me to get rich is because if I was still poor, like you fucking idiots, knowing what I know about the world, I'd be dying on the fucking street trying to cause a rebellion. And they know that. So instead they said, let this man have money and yachts and women and Yescos and Paganis and Bugattis and houses and private jets. Give him everything so he fucking goes away. Placate this warrior. That's why I'm rich. Because they knew if they kept me trapped, I'd bring the whole fucking system down. They knew that. Because I ain't scared of them, and I'm not scared of fucking dying. You broke people have no problem living in slavery because you don't love freedom enough.
Sorry for interrupting you between the video, but if you don't want to listen to my commentary and my perspective, you can skip. I will also show a timer there, so you can skip according to a timeline. But I personally prefer you to listen to my commentary and my speeches because it's not a speech or commentary. We can say it a conversation between you and I. So let's start the conversation. On my previous video, someone commented that what's your future plan? So like of course I want to do YouTube right now and day trading, but I don't really think about my future plan deeply. I just wanna make money by YouTube, day trading, and all this stuff, and wants to move on to some other country like Australia and America. Anyway, let's start our video. Then I will open a farm, maybe something like that, buy some land. But trading pays well to the person who knows how to do it actually. Anyway, so Andrew said that there is always something bad and good with good, and there is always something good with bad. If your life going great, something bad happen. Something bad will always happen. And if your life is going bad, something good will happen. For example, I will give you my example. So everything is going good, YouTube is going good, and everything is going good, everything is chill. But right now it's almost 4 a.m. in the morning, and someone I love blocks me for no reason, like for no warning, for no any, like you can say any breakup warning, for no. I just checked my Instagram, and she blocked me for no reason. Now I get it. If something bad good, there is always something bad with good. Now I get it. Now I get it. I don't know what to say, but he's right. And when I was struggling with the YouTube, my channel was not monetized, and I just wanna figure out my content and what should I made on YouTube. She always talks to me. She always been me in bad times, but when good time comes to me, she randomly blocks me. I didn't get what she. Maybe she unblocks me after some time. Maybe there is some reason. Anyway, let's start the conversation. But it really made me laugh. There is always something bad with the good. I get it now. I get it. Anyway, so you already learned there is something bad with good. You already learn it. So my brain can't function right now. I don't know what to say. She blocked me, man. She was there, like she was always there with me in bad times, but randomly she blocked me. It's really shocked for me. Anyway, let's move on. And you need to, and the other point I learned from this speech is you need to be rich. You need freedom, and being rich is called related to freedom. If you are rich, you don't have to go to the job. You don't have to work for 9 to 5. You don't have to work for 8 hours of your day, or 7 hours, or 6 hours of your day in order to maintain your lifestyle. You get time freedom. If you're rich, you can just fly over and go to some other countries, travel. If you are really rich, this is freedom. But if you are not rich, if you're working 9 to 5 and you are not rich, you are middle class, you're stuck in one country. But when you're rich, you can go to any country you want. This is freedom. So we need to get rich in order to get freedom, and our goal should be freedom, not money, not cash, not being rich. Our goal should be freedom. My brain is still not functioning right now. What just happened? I don't know. I really don't know why she blocked me. We were talking just an hour ago, and I texted her again before starting my video, and I I thought I will reply her after I make video, but when I check her DM, she blocked me. I don't know what's the reason. What should be the reason? I don't know what to say, but my brain is not functioning right now. My brain is not functioning well right now, so I can't explain or have a good conversation with you. Anyway, enjoy your video. Don't waste your time.
The system, the world we're in, convinces you to love yourself above everything else because the common average man only has power as a collective. If you love anything other than yourself, you're a threat to them. But if you love yourself, at most, you'll escape. And that's only the competent ones. The rest of you who are not competent enough to escape, do you know what happens when you love yourself? You check out of the game. I love myself. This system's rigged. This country's shit. I don't care about anyone else. I don't care about the system. I don't care. I'm just going to play video games. Look at the women of the world today. Hi, you're 25 years old. You need children. And you're white, and we need white babies. White people are going extinct. I don't care. I like Instagram. I'm a diva. I'm a star. You're a fucking idiot. You've achieved nothing in your life. Get over yourself. Where's this arrogance from? It's remarkable. It's disgusting, truthfully. It's treasonous. They don't give a fuck. Women are the ultimate weapon of selfishness. So, if you understand that the masculine imperative is naturally to die for something bigger than yourself and think of ideas bigger than yourself. It is men who built society. It is men who think about society. It is men who protect society. Men do all of these things. Women only care about themselves. There's an evolutionary reason for this. It's very simple. They had to keep themselves alive to reproduce. Men have encouraged female selfishness since the dawn of human time, so they'd do anything it took to stay alive, so the babies would stay alive, so our clans would be able to reproduce into the future. Female selfishness is hard-coded. But if you're, once again, the ruling elites, and the only thing you're trying to do is promote love of self, well then surely you're going to give power to the most selfish creatures on the planet, called women. You want to love yourself? Feminism. Females. I have never heard a woman say, I don't want to do this, but I should do it for my country. I don't want to do this, but I should do it for my community. I don't want to do this, but I should do it for my religion. I don't want to do this, but I should do this for my town. Never once. Ever. Women think, I don't want to, I don't care. Women worship themselves. And as the man becomes more feminized, the primary objective is endless self-worship. Because the counter to that, the opposite, means you dislike everyone else. Remember, if you love your country, you dislike other countries. If you love yourself, you dislike other people. And your only weapon as a common man is collectivism. If 3% of a country riots, that's a revolution. 3% is the magic number. That's it. How do they stop 3% of people getting on the streets as your country falls apart around you, as all of your currency inflates, as crime gets out of control, as you're invaded, as you're lied to, as public services collapse, as your kids are no longer safe, as traffic's bad, as you're endlessly taxed? How do they stop a small percentage of the country rebelling? Very simple. They're all too busy loving themselves, so they don't like anyone else. And this is why religions and people say love is the answer. Love is the answer if you love the right thing. This is exceptionally important for you to understand. This self-love is the only answer that doesn't create an opposite force of evil that the elites are afraid of. That is why they don't want you to love your country. And that is why they take the flags down. That's why they don't want you to love your history. And they change all the colors of everyone. And they lie about what happened. That's why they don't want you to love your city. And they build every single building ugly. That's why they don't want you to love your wife. And they convince her that having a big mouth and being rude is how to be a woman. So that you don't even respect her anymore. You look her in the eyes and you don't like her. They are trying to take away everything from you, so the only thing you have left to love is yourself, because they can accept that. That's what they can accept. This framework is extremely important. You can apply it to nearly any problem in the world today. Let's apply it to powerful people. Becoming a powerful person in the world is hard. It's stressful. It's dangerous. You might get assassinated. You might die, right? It's very dangerous and very harrowing an experience to become a powerful person in the world today. So it's certainly not easy to do. So why would you do something which is difficult? You must what? You must love power. You must love the power. If you're a powerful person, you love being powerful. You love it. And if you love it, of course, you're going to have a problem with anyone who threatens your power in any regard. Your primary objective is to consolidate power. I'm powerful, and the inverse to that is I don't like anyone else with any other kind of power. So if Andrew Tate talks on the internet and inspires people, he has to go to jail. If anybody is trying to rally behind a flag, a race, a religion, a culture, an identity, a town, they need to go to jail. This is my world. I have the power. Only me. That's what I love. The only people who become powerful are psychopaths who love it. And their primary objective, once in power, is to get as much of it as possible all of the time. That is why we are being invaded by immigrants. Think about it. There's a whole bunch of theories out there. How they're trying to replace all the white people, how we're going to live in this technocratic feudalistic system, how we're just incompetent and stupid, how we cause all the wars and they have to run away, blah, blah, blah. Let me make it simple. They want more power. And if they bring more and more people in who don't think like you, they reduce the chances of you allying with them against them. They make you only care about yourself more and more. You don't care about your community. And also, you have people coming into the country who are prepared to accept third world dictatorship because that's what they come from. And their intention is to get as much power as possible, which is why they want to turn the Western world into a third world dictatorship where they can chop your head off on the street. That's what they want to do. It's all very simple. Another reason, no matter who you vote for, you can't seem to stop these fucking waves of immigrants. Another reason is because powerful people love power. What do rich people love? We would all argue that becoming rich is difficult, no? So if you're going to do something difficult, you must love it. So rich people love money. Rich people love money. Now you poor people may not understand money. But if you're rich like me, you understand the majority of your money is in real estate, stocks. It's not in liquid cash. How do I make real estate go up? Well, I create a housing crisis. How do I create a housing crisis? Well, I invite in 1 million immigrants. 50,000 rich ones buy all the houses. 950,000 who are broke start working brokey jobs, reducing everyone's wages in the entire area. Now no one can afford a house. Houses are going up to the roof. There's no supply. I'm getting rich. How do I increase stock prices? Well, we increase GDP. What's GDP? A made up fucking number. GDP's bullshit. How do we increase GDP? We bring in a whole bunch of slaves who do a whole bunch of bullshit slave jobs so we can say the GDP's gone up, so the stock price has gone up. Because I love money more than I love anything else. What's the evil repercussion? What's the opposite force to me loving money? My society crumbles. The place I grew up changes forever. My children wouldn't be safe if they didn't get to live in such a nice house. But I don't care because I love money. Am I a bad person? Well, not to the other capitalists. I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person. I love money, but I have a factory and I hire 10,000 immigrants and I'm giving them a better life and I'm paying them a good wage. That's 10,000 families I feed. I'm a good person. The person who doesn't work in the factory, who lives in that town, says, yeah, but those immigrants have all come to this town now. The town doesn't look the same anymore. My kids aren't safe at night. Can't walk the street. You're a bad person. You can't do one or the other without creating the inverse. Love and evil, love and hate, like, dislike, they're the same thing. This is why, at the height of my popularity, I wasn't trying to make people like me. I was trying to make them dislike me because it made everyone love me. That's what most don't and can't understand. So you need to understand this basic premise and understand that they are trying very hard to splinter you from any kind of affinity. And that is why they attack me, because of my school. Because I give you a place where it doesn't matter what country you're from, what color you are, what religion you have, if you're rich or poor, you can have 200,000 men who think like you. And they don't want that because 200,000 men is an army. They're scared. They don't want you to join the war room with 5,000 people globally meeting in places from Croatia, Dubai, Thailand. They don't want you meeting. They don't want you to have brotherhood. They don't want anything to threaten their power structure. You know, I have children with a few different women. And I've heard in time women have said to me, why did you have kids with all those other girls? That's evil. I just love my family. I love Tate. I love the last name. I love my genetics. I love my ancestors. You think I'm evil for loving my ancestors? I love my ancestry more than I love you. Who are you? You're new. You're 2 years old. They've been here for thousands of years. I owe them more than I owe you. If you can't get over the fact I have some kids, then what the fuck you doing here? Because you ain't going to stop me. Because I love my ancestry. And if you truly loved me, you'd love my ancestry. And you'd understand you need more Andrew Tates. So what are you complaining about? Too busy loving yourself. You can't think outside of yourself. You can't think, well, this is inconvenient for me, but maybe it's good for the big wide world. Andrew Tate's a hero. We need more heroes. Women can't do that. Women can't think outside of themselves. So we're going to apply in some upcoming emergency meetings this very basic philosophical framework of love and evil. We're going to apply it to different scenarios. We're going to try and understand what the world leaders are trying to garner. Are they trying to make you love them? Are they trying to make you hate them? Because by doing certain things, they're automatically creating the inverse and how you should operate. Because yes, to a degree, you have to love yourself. Absolutely. But then once you make it, you have to help other people as best you can. And they have to be worthy of the help. And most people aren't because they're so individualized. If I lend someone $10 million and then ask for it back, I'm the bad guy. That's what they've done to the world. Got one super chat here I'm going to read out. Hi, Andrew. I'm a student of the real world, and I've been trying to focus on my work. My friends often try and encourage me into vices, drinking, etc. Should I stop trying to hang out with these friends? Well, your friends don't want you to do better than them, clearly. What are your friends doing? Are your friends rich and powerful and successful? Or are they losers? Maybe they feel threatened by you. They feel threatened by the success you're going to make. My father had a quote, "You allow manipulation to find out where your enemy wants you to go, then you use your mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators." You don't have to stop talking to them. You can just stop listening to them. You can be their friend and just not let them distract you from things. If you fall for their tricks, you deserve it. Right? People want you to do well, but not better than them. Ever. We could apply that very small scenario to this, but I like to apply it to macro events more. The rich love getting rich, and they're going to do anything it takes to keep getting richer. Unfortunately, the powerful people and the rich people are in the same group. The money is the power. So what do the rich people want? The rich people want more money and more power. And they want that above anything else. And they're prepared to sacrifice anything else to get it, including you, including your family, including your little dreams and aspirations. They don't give a shit. They don't care. And they're trying to endlessly splinter to keep us worshiping ourselves. And the true heart of evil and darkness that exists in the world today is going to take a large orchestrated group. And the primary way to make a large orchestrated group, all born in different places, perhaps all have different histories, different backgrounds, different versions of childhood, how to make them all love each other is to make them universally hated. Purposefully. There's a lot going on that you're not thinking about. You need to make a conscious decision. Think and analyze inside yourself. What do you love? What don't you love? What do you hate and why? Because this allows you to understand yourself at a deeper level. And I'll tell you something. Finding people worth working with, worth being friends with, is difficult. And that's why my mission from the beginning has been to filter out from the chaff people worthwhile, and they exist inside of the real world in the war room. So if you're not a selfish idiot who is obsessed with only himself, if you understand the power of masculine brotherhood, if you understand it was 300 Spartans who stood against evil, it's not about numbers, it's about resolve and will.
So this is the end of the video, and let's discuss what we learned from this speech. So we learned that if you get rich, are you going, so it's a question, if you get rich, are you gonna help other people to get rich? Ask yourself, if you are rich, are you gonna help other people to get rich? Personally, if I ask this question to myself, I'm only gonna help few people, like the people I love. I only gonna help them, because I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to waste my time on the people I don't know, or random people or stranger. Of course you are my audience and I love you. I spend time, I spend hours to make a video for you, and it also benefits me, like my channel monetized and I'm making money. You are my audience, I love you, but I don't want to teach a random person who is not my audience, who is not the one who I love. And because I spent years and years to learn one skill, and I spent years and years to get rich, then why I just give the formula to a random person? I know it takes time, it requires hard work, but it's also a roadmap. So why should I give the roadmap to a random person for free? If I want to give, I will charge money. I will charge anything, like time, maybe energy, maybe money, because these are the three currencies. We don't have only money as a currency. We have time as a currency, we have money as a currency, and we have energy as a currency. So either I take his or her time, money, or energy in order to teach them. I really don't want to teach people for free, or teach random people. Even I don't want to charge money to waste my time and energy. I want to get rich because I can enjoy I don't want to get rich so I can teach people how they can make money, and I can sell my courses for $200, for $300. I don't want it. Even if I get rich, uh, I don't want to teach people for money, because why waste time when I already have money? Anyway, you can also comment down your opinion on this. If you get rich right now, are you gonna help other people to get rich? Are you gonna help other people to get rich? Ask your question, ask yourself this question, and write down in the comment box what your thoughts on it. And in the last part of the video, he said that your friends don't want you to become better. Your friends don't want you to become successful. And I get it, because whenever I hang out with my friends, all they talk about is girls and parties and making jokes on each other, but they never talk about getting rich. And that's the reason I stopped making new friends, because there is a waste of time. I'm not directly saying that making friends and hanging out with them and making and having fun with them is a waste of time, but as a poor guy, as a guy who has nothing, who has no sports and who has no sport, and who knows nobody is going to save you, I should not waste time. I should not waste time with them. I know nobody is going to save me. Not my family, not my father, not my mother, not my brother. Nobody is coming to save me. I'm alone and I have to do it at all alone. I don't have any friend who supports me. Like if I fail, I have his back and he will support me if I fail. If I fail, I fail. Nobody is going to support me. And everyone starts cheering me when I get rich. Everyone starts liking me when I get successful. Nobody likes a loser. Everyone likes a winner. Nobody likes a loser. And I feel like I'm a loser, because if I was a winner, she will never gonna block me. If I was a winner, she will never gonna block me. Don't know why, but don't I can't understand, I can't figure it out that why she blocked me. There is no fight, there is no breakup, there is nothing. She randomly blocks me. We were talking an hour ago, but now she blocks me. Like we were doing ha ha he 2 hours ago and an hour ago, and now she blocked me. I can't figure it out why. But I should not wasting time like a loser. I should do some workout, and after making this video I will edit this video, and after the edit I will do some push-up, I will do some squat, I will do some abs exercise, I will do some exercise, and it's almost uh, 4 a.m. in the morning, and after the 6 a.m. after 7 a.m. After the breakfast I will go to sleep, I will go for a bed, and then I wake up in the evening, then I start working, then I start working out, I will start doing my work, because I have no time for crying, I don't have time for texting her again on her WhatsApp, on her Gmails. I don't have time for me. If she wants to be with me, she will unblock me. If she don't want to be with me, she will never unblock me. That's simple. But to be honest, I really respect that girl, I really love that girl, because she was with me when I had nothing, when my YouTube channel is not monetized, when I was not profitable, and she always supports me in my bad times. maybe I don't think she blocked me some randomly. I think she blocked me for reason some reason, and she will unblock me later. But if if she never unblocks me, it's okay for me. It's really okay for me. I don't want myself to become a loser behind a girl. Of course, I love her, and I start making videos because of her, because I want her in my life. So I have to get rich in order to have her in my life. I understand this thing, and that's the reason I eh, start my YouTube channel. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think there is a lot of problem going in her life, and I think she blocks me because of her problems, and she will unblock me later. But if she never unblocks me, I don't mind it at all. But I really love her, and I will always love her till I die, because when I start doubting myself, when I was nothing, she was with me. Anyway, bye bye guys. And after um, recording, after stop, my brain is still not functioning right now. After stop record, after finishing this video, I will uh, I will be lonely in my room. I will be complete lonely. I will do some push up, maybe I will do some squat, I will do some workout, I will think about her, I will listen to some Android motivation, and my mind can't stop thinking about her. I was still thinking about her and thinking about her, and use her as a fuel to become a better person. Like, it's really painful because I really love her, but yeah, I use this pain as a fuel, and I will start. My mind never stops thinking about her, so I think that's the better choice to. That's the better option, to use her memories as a fuel. Maybe she blocks me later, and yeah, that's. But after recording this video, I will be lonely in my room doing push-up, doing squat. I don't know, guys, but I hope she unblocks me and come back. But if she never unblocks me, I know I become a bad person. I become like a playboy type. I don't know what to say because it's very cringe to me. Playboy. You can say a fuckboy. So I will become like a fuckboy because I don't want to trust someone now in my life. I will become a fuckboy, and yeah, I will become. There is more chances that I will become a bad person and never fall for any girl again if she never comes back in my life. Bye bye, guys.